Okay, so we've got the body made. Now what we want to focus on is making the head. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to cut half this shape in half, approximately. It doesn't have to be exactly. Okay, and we're going to save one bit for our hat and other features, and this is going to be what we're going to use for our head. So again, just squeezing that into a ball. We're going to use the same technique, just using those hands to kind of cup it and get it into that spherical shape or form, and then we're going to roll with the hands again. And then you can try this shape on top of the shape that you've made and sort of ask yourself, is it right in terms of proportions? Do you want it to be a little bit smaller? If you do, all you need to do is maybe cut off a section. I'm going to just do that so you know what to do. And then again, you can sort of roll that into the shape that you want it to be. Now I'm going to kind of get it into a circle again, having taken a little bit off. Okay, and then what we're going to do now is just use the technique that we've already used, pinch pot. So again, taking our thumb. This time it doesn't have to be, essentially we're just making airspace in the head of the snowman. So we're going to push our thumb in. I don't think we have to pinch this as much as we did with the first section. We're just going round and we're getting the shape that we want. If you want to make it more rounded, what you can always do is pinch in a little bit. You can see there I'm just kind of using that technique to get that shape in. I can even squeeze it a little bit to sort of make that shape a little bit more like a head. And then what I'm going to do, and this is probably the most important thing that you're going to do in this workshop, is we must make a hole in the top of the body, and we also need to make a hole in the bottom. And if you're asking why is that, why do we need to do that? Well, just think about it. We've got air that's trapped in this ceramic form, and we're going to put it in the kiln. So it's going to be fired up to 1000 degrees centigrade, so obviously very, very hot. What does air do? Expand when it's hot. So that's where disasters are spending all this lovely time making something handmade, and we end up with it exploding in the kiln. Not a happy snowman. So now what we're going to do with our hole here, we're now going to use the same technique where we score and we score at the top as well. And again, this is all about gluing the clay, sticking clay to clay really securely so that the head doesn't fall off. We don't want that to happen. And then we're taking our slip and just putting some on the top and then some on this section, and then you can place that down. So at the moment it's tricky for you to see. I'm going to move that round in a minute so you can see. Okay, so I've attached that on, and then you can see there that I've got the head attached. Now for extra measure, what I would suggest you do is take in your wooden tool this time. I would drag some of the clay from the top down to the body of the snowman, where you're just pulling that down and you're making sure that that's really well attached. You can probably hear the birds singing. I'm in my shed at the moment, so I came in here earlier, but the my neighbour was blowing leaves, so I had to stop and wait till it was a bit quieter. It's quite nice because you can see from the bird feeder that the birds are starting to come, because it's a bit quieter now. Okay, so we've attached that, and really now we have our body of our snowman. We have the hole in the bottom, sorry to be rude there. We've got a hole that goes through this section and is in here as well, so air can actually escape through. Now actually what we are going to do when we make the hat is we're going to put a hole in the top as well, so again we've got air escaping all the way through. Again, just for extra measure, I'm going to make sure that that's kind of going all the way through, and then you can just spend some time smoothing the clay with your finger. This works really quite effectively, so again, no need for any tools. You can just spend some time now getting the form really nice and smooth, so you're then ready to start to make your hat and attach the other features. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with that, and then our next stage is to work on the features and the hat, and also maybe thinking about scarf and things like that. Okay.